Hello, I'm Rob. I'm the Lizex Minet.
I'm Ollie, and I'm playing the Mentak Coalition. So I ripped off my sleeves, and I'm ready for some space piracy.
I'm John. I'm playing as the Ghost of Chris, and I have the Barony to my right, and I have Rob as Lizex to my left.
I'm David, and I'm the Clan of Tsar, and hopefully you can actually see my face, not just my hilarious t-shirt, but if you can only see my hilarious t-shirt, then good for you.
So I do not know what is going on with this game. I have never played it before, but it is a beautiful game, and win or lose, I just wanted to end this day having played a beautiful game.
So, I'm Matt, and I will be playing today the Embers of Muat, which,
Our thing is all about big ships, so we can do a lot of combat. I have a tech that allows me to skip to whatever tech I like, but I'm not so sure it's a good thing, so instead of that I'm going to go straight to Dreadnought 2. My Dreadnoughts carry things and move quite fast and do a lot of bombardments, so my thing is going to be aggression.
Strategy is going to be going after resources and movement tech early on, so I can start snaffling up those objectives when I can.
I am the Barony, the space Nazis. That's very, very cool, very, very chic.
My general strategy, I think, is going to be to push technology, especially mobility, and be a sort of player that is always... people are always looking to see where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do, and not therefore wanting to provoke too much, and hopefully it's going to enable me to get some good trade going. I've already initiated a little bit of discussion with my two neighbours, which I think will hopefully make things a bit more relaxed in the early game.
Very chic, Nazi chic. That's what they call it these days.
so I was choosing last of the race draft, and I suspected that the Sarlacc Nor and the Embers of Muat would come down, and lo, they did. Now, the received wisdom for our group is that the Embers are one of the weaker races. Certainly I can see why that's the case. They're only have the Wolf Sun to begin with really in their starting fleet, which is powerful but slow. So my game plan is obviously to race Wolf Sun 2 as quickly as possible, because that then, gives me something to leverage.
And this is my first time playing a mobile race in this game. Like, so much of my previous experience of this has been very early territorial markings and trying to push out and very slowly change mainly static borders. This is going to be completely different, and I'm really, really happy with the asteroid placement. Really happy. One just next to my home system, one a couple of hexes away, giving me two impenetrable fortresses, one of which is right next to Mechatol Rex, to hide in, build up in, and basically be immovable from in that particular part of the board, which has like 6 or 7 planets in total right next to the 2 asteroids. I think that'll be the way I win if I do win, so here's hoping.
I'm going to try and go all the way across the galaxy and get into the Star Slice, but that means I'm going to have to go through the Mentak, so I'm not going to have many trade goods this game, and I don't think anyone's going to be my friend, but if I can get all of the attention focused on Dave, that still might work for me. But let's see how it goes. I've got to decide who my ally's going to be. I don't think it's going to be John or Ollie, so I might have to try and make it be Matt and Ken.
And I just want to prove my superior race. That's the point of the game, just to show that your race is superior. It's a very racist game.
I've got a challenging start, if I'm honest. 2 wormholes quite close to me, quite a lot of anomalies. But equally, I'm relatively positive that I've built the galaxy in a way that the Tsar will find it more profitable to go the other way away from me, and that Ken, who is playing the Barony of Letnev, will not particularly want to push into my borders, hopefully.
So, I just want to be a player who is zipping around the map, making the best use of the wormholes, although they've placed them in a way that means that I'm not as mobile as I would like to be, because they're kind of bunched together.
So splice the main brace and shiver me timbers. I'm coming after your space plunder. Ha-ha!
And I'm next to John and Matt, and they're scary. They're scary men, very scary men. I'm scared by their toxic masculinity, but I will succeed. I will succeed with more brains and bronze. And as long as as long as the fans are pleased, then I don't care.
So I'm hoping to sort of build a defensive position and then push out with the War Suns when I get them. That's the rough game plan. Maybe make a push for Mechatol early while that technology is still worth a premium. I'm open to selling my racial tech, but I want to make sure I've got War Sun 2 before I do so. Yeah, it's an interesting starting position. I don't feel particularly confident, if I'm honest. But we'll see where it goes from here. And a lot will depend on whether John immediately comes at me through the wormholes, which he might do. I mean, if everyone comes at me through the wormholes, it's it's going to be challenging. But, you know. Anyway, excited to play.
So that's slightly frustrating, but I think it's fine, and it means that they probably will not be thinking too much about me and thinking like, oh, well, the wormholes are not that well placed, so it's okay. So just going to be kind of moving around a lot, trying to make alliances but keeping people on their toes. Chaos is a ladder.
We'll see. Could go very badly, could go very right. A lot goes on which objective cards come out. See you later.
I envisioned being trapped in 2 asteroid fields and building up massive fleets, and it looks like, whether because I envisioned it or because everyone else envisioned it too, that's exactly what's happening. I have 2 literally impenetrable fortresses to build up and build up and build up, but I need to keep on striking out. I need to keep on taking planets. I need to be moving into Matt's territory.
Galaxy is a cruel little mistress. It might be spreading across the stars, from your home kingdom to far-flung corners of the galaxy. Mechatol Rex has changed hands twice. The Scavengers had a crack at it, and now it's surrendered itself to the Lizix Facebook lunatics.
Okay, so turns 1 to 3 started quite well, but they've gone quite downhill. I moved out to get a 6th planet for the 6 planets objective. And then that came back to bite me in the ass.
Hello.
So, it's going quite well at the moment. I've definitely got the strongest fleet. I've got a lot of resources, a lot of influence. I'm doing okay on victory points. The problem at the moment is that we're all very bunched up. So although my position is strong, if people were to have a go, it could quickly turn bad.
My boys, they're doing well. They're doing well, my boys. They're good swimmers. That's right. I see them like my sperm.
Well, everything is very much on fire. Oh dear lord, it has not been a strong start. I've come under pressure, found it hard to expand my borders, chased technology which hasn't yet paid off, and been attacked by the nasty ghosts last turn to stop me scoring the 1 objective I might have scored. Now, I do have a secret objective I've already achieved that's in the can, so I'll score that at some point. I've been, playing up how far behind I am.
My ships, my destroyers, they're my sperm. And they're swimming, they're gonna pierce that ovary. They're gonna pierce that ovary. It's gonna be good.
We're hemmed in our corner of the galaxy. Our approach to mobility failed us. Resource-wise, we've done well enough, but we're still building a fleet. We're having enough ships to achieve the goal we wish to achieve. So for now, we're having to take our opportunities where we can find them.
That's how sex works, I think.
I don't feel that bad about moving into anybody's territory, but if I'm going to win, the only way I'm going to win is maintaining my small lead. I'm in the lead. How did that happen?
I think that's how you make a baby. We're gonna make a Twilight Imperium baby. So it's fine.
Ken just walked in behind me and he took some of my planets off me. Now, I've still got the technologies objective. I can still get that. So I can score an objective this turn nonetheless, but I'm very exposed. I've got the Expeditious Retreat card, action card. So hopefully I can use that to get out of Ken's way and not lose too much.
What I'm worried about at the moment is I'm really dependent upon having Mector Rex, and they're going to want to take that off me. Once they take that off me, I have no influence, and then I'm going to really struggle to actually achieve stuff. The other problem is that all of the objectives largely are influence based. So if I can keep the Mector Rex for a turn or two, I can really get into a good position. If I can't, it's not going to be so good.
I've got War Sons 2, which is nice. They're movement free, so their manoeuvrability is significant. I'm going to put a second one of them down next turn. I've become speaker, so I've got leadership coming up as a pick, and I'll move first. So I'm going to start fighting back, but it's not a good position.
Basically what happened was, I attacked John, and he's now pretty pissed because we had a ceasefire.
Just walked in.
But, they're no friends in Twilight Imperium. That's why I say. I don't play this to make friends. I'm a space Nazi. I'm the space Nazi. I'm here to win.
Fuck Ken.
And, I'll trample some poor ghosts away. They're ghosts. They've already died once. They can handle it.
Fuck him.
And I'm gonna have the biggest fleet. I've got six capacity in my fleets, and we're just gonna fight. We're gonna fight big.
But I refuse to be salty when things go against me. We've built a well-defended homeland, and on that strength, we can rely.
I need to maintain my small lead by never falling behind in victory points despite being effectively confined most of the time to 2 tiles.
So what I'm going to do is not take Imperial, because I don't think I'll be able to score 2 publics this turn, and because I do not want to put a target on my back.
I'm going to struggle to get many of the objectives. Hopefully I'll build towards a stronger finish as I am able to get some capital ships on the board.
But Matt is also going to come after me on the other side of the map, and he's got his upgraded War Sun from the Embers of Murat, and he's probably going to walk in there, and if he comes in, I mean obviously I announced retreat straight away, but he's probably going to blow up some shit and I'm gonna suffer.
It's going to be war. It's going to be the biggest war since the Crimean War, basically.
I really like the Tsar. The Tsar are now my favourite race. Matt was right, Rob was right. They're amazing.
Not sure what else that I'm really going to aim for. I should slowly be teching up, so I need another blue, and I need the yellow. No, I'm not sure actually. I need to look at the tech. So it's feeling alright. I'm a bit worried by everyone, to be honest. That's kind of it. I'm not really sure what to think.
I don't have a lot of boats. I don't have very good fleets because I've prioritised tech and zipping around, and just hasn't gone very well.
But yeah, I'm not feeling great about it. Certainly, the favourites I think at the moment, Rob, Dave on victory points, a little bit penned up in asteroids fields, but he can push out strong. And Rob owning Mector, very strong. And Ken with the big barony fleets is looking strong. I think the ghosts have overextended and are going to get punished, and I think the pirates have been penned in. But yeah, it's not feeling good.
Matt's doing pretty badly, and John attacked Matt, and that was his own fault. He's opened himself up for greed. So I'm punishing that greed. And who else am I worried about? I'm worried about everyone, but John, we're going to fight. It's going to be big. It's going to be massive. Can't wait.
If I drop a victory point anytime before the next diary entry, I think I'm going to lose. Otherwise, for the first time ever, I might have a chance.
So, this next turn is going to be about minimizing damage. I think it's going to be about suffering the least.
'Tis a pirate's life for me.
And now we enter the end game.
Go! Hello, diary room.
Hello. It's gonna happen again. I'm gonna be this close. But I probably can't win it.
Okay, things happened the way I feared they might, and I wasn't able to score any victory points for a couple of rounds because I was stuck, trapped in my impenetrable asteroid fields. So now I'm not in the running for actually winning, but I've learned a lot this game, like a lot, about not just how aggressive you have to be as the Tsar, but how aggressive I could probably stand to be from now on with certain races. With certain races.
My position is unrecoverable.
These are the last final days of the war. Space Nazis not doing so great, much like land Nazis.
I've got to be favourite at this point.
Regular Nazis.
I'm on 8, everyone else on 7, 6, 5 and 4. I've done the 2 points that are available. The remaining 2 pointer is 5 tech specialties, which is virtually impossible on a map that only has 6 tech specialties.
So the situation is Rob is within striking distance of winning, as is pretty much everyone except Ken.
We really fucked it. We really fucked it up.
But interestingly, Ollie can steal Imperial from anyone that has threatened that he will definitely do that.
So with that in mind, I'll just be nice and disruptive.
This has been really fun.
I'm in second place on 7.
I didn't realize all game how incredibly annoying I must have been for Ollie specifically. Like, I was sort of counting on Ollie as relatively neutral, but like, it's clear to me now just how impossible it was for him to expand and do anything past his own territory in one entire pie-sliced direction, just because of my asteroid field sitting right there, being permanently unassailable.
I could, with Imperial, potentially win this turn. Unlikely, but possible. But like the problem is, you take Imperial, Rob, and Ollie takes it off you. You end up with some nonsense card that doesn't help. So that's gamble 1.
We're in last place, 4 points. Tied with someone, I think with the Tsar with 4 points maybe. 6 points behind. Another team's on 8 points. It's looking bad. Looking bad for the space Nazi regime.
I can score a number of 1-pointers, so if I still have my home world left at the end of this turn, I'm a definite contender. I can also do my secret objective, which is to be next to someone's home world. The problem is they'll probably notice that, but there's wormholes that lead directly to Matt and Ollie's home system. So if I'm able to stall out the turn enough and then just move there, people might know what I'm doing, but they still might not be able to do anything about it.
Managed to land a pick your strategy perk, which is quite good. So my plan at this point is to, the best case scenario is to take Imperial, score one of the public objectives at the start of my round, get me 2 points, and hopefully also get a secret objective that I'd be able to score, so that I can then go after that for an extra 1 point during the round, which will get me to 8.
So yeah, he's been annoying me all game by stealing from me each time I did a transaction. That was incredibly annoying, but if anything, I've probably been annoying him more. Should have thought of that before I counted on certain things shaking out certain ways.
Rob is on 8, so there's a very high chance Rob is at least able to make it this turn to 10. And I don't think I can.
You could hope that Rob can't strike this turn, which, if he doesn't have a secret objective, I don't think he can do the remaining public objective at 2 victory points, so I think he can't make it if he doesn't have the right secret objective. I can't really take his homeworld or do anything like that. I'm not sure anyone can. So we end up with a situation where Rob wins this turn, hard to stop. If it goes to 2 turns, everything's on the table. Take Imperial this turn, I could potentially win, but then it will be taken off me by Ollie. Probably.
We tried to get more Lebensraum. Couldn't get enough Lebensraum. Didn't work. Did not work. Failed. I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up on a few turns ago. I should have just taken Mechatol Rex. Should have done it.
The problem is, do I lose my own system in the meantime? Which I've got to assume that I will. And at that point I can only score secret objectives. So I need to make sure that I do the secret this turn. And maybe make a Mechatol play with Imperial. If I'm able to get Imperial. There are too many variables. Assuming that I can't get Imperial, I will take Politics. I'm really hoping that someone else takes Imperial this turn, because Ollie will then nab it with his card and that's gone.
And if that's not possible, then I can't win this round. But if it does work, and then at the end of the round I can score another public objective for 2, which is possible, the tech one, then I'm there.
You make errors, you have regrets. I walk away with this day having regrets. But at the same time, I did play a beautiful game. It was a first time player and first time Nazi. I've never been a Nazi before. A beautiful Nazi game.
The other 2-point objectives are 5 technology planets, which is impossible, I think, and 16 resources, which is way beyond the scope of what I can spend.
Could take Politics to be set up to take Imperial next turn, but that only works if someone takes Imperial, then Ollie's forced to use and throw away his elected position, which lets him do that. Could take Leadership, always good for the extra action tokens, set me up to maybe do one of the more difficult public objectives next turn. Those are really the options, I think. I don't like any of them.
I attacked many people. I destroyed some ships, several fleets. I did some cool things. Don't know. What more can you say? I played a beautiful game.
I don't know what to think, to be honest. All depends if I can hold my own world. And hold my own world for this turn. I think I should win. But I wouldn't expect to, because they should all be dogpiling me. There aren't many that are in a position to dogpile me, but this is TI, so you can always make something work with action cards.
But there's a lot of ifs and buts and maybes there, isn't it? So
This game is beautiful. It is a beautiful game, I think.
I think the most impressive thing I did this game was to jab at Rob, forcing a massive scuffle over Mechatol Rex in turn like 4, and even that was like a backup plan. It wasn't something that I planned on doing. Yeah.
Lizix on my left and Barony on my right really squeezed me out.
You know what? I'm happy walking away. I know what I did. I know what I will do. This last turn is where it all happens. Who knows? Who the fuck knows how this game works?
So yeah, I think Rob probably wins this turn. I think if not, everything's still on the table, but the choices made now will determine how well you're able to take advantage of the next turn, and Imperial next turn will be everything. It's interesting. It's one of the better games we've played, and I look forward to it. I just want to still be in it at the end. I think that's all I care about now. Excellent. Let's do a thing.
I have to go back to my piratical ways, see what I can steal, see who I can disrupt, and hopefully make my way through the trash pandas that have been in my way the whole game. So watch this space.
Right, the way we are now, what with the new 2-point public objectives being what they are, and being that I was relatively unlucky with my secret objectives, there's no way I'm going to win, but I'm interested to see how close I can get. I think I can get to 7 fairly quickly, maybe even 8, but then by the time I get to 8, someone will have won. So we'll see. We'll see how this shakes out, and then we'll definitely see how the next game shakes out.
I think Ollie will win. I think Ollie is sitting on a good position. Now, Rob might win next turn, but if he doesn't, then I think Ollie will eventually, he'll take it. He'll take it. That's all I can say.
Let's see. It's been a good game. I've had a good time. Everyone's been in it. Best of luck.
So that's it.
Well, the end game arrived.
Well, that was the game.
Hello, camera. That was very depressing.
I can't believe the Nazis lost again. Not again. It's not again.
Well, apologies for that. That's not going to make good viewing at all.
Well, there'll be a heavy trade in salt after that encounter, to be sure.
So the game has ended, and I stand victorious atop the throne in the Senate chamber of Mechatol Rex. And I don't feel good about it.
So, despite the fact that I have scored higher than that in the past, that was my best ever game of TI in a lot of ways. I really, really like the Tsar, as I might have said before.
What can we do better? We're meant to be the Ubermensch. It's meant to be so easy for us. We had so many ships. We should have awarded more people. We were too lenient on, lesser races.
I guess technically I make it to 8 points at the end, but my big blunder was leaving myself open at the back, not understanding the ceasefire card, thinking it protected me from Ken, and thinking that would be fine.
So, the way the final turn worked out, I took politics because I thought the game would go an extra turn and it felt like an important thing to be able to choose Imperial next turn. Worked out because Ken took Imperial and Ollie had to use it to swap it, so if the game goes 2 turns I'm taking Imperial and probably winning. But then Rob scores a secret objective and it's a race to the game that turn and I couldn't get there.
I was talking outside. It was one of those games where you're like, I'm really happy with how I played this because there's nothing anyone can do about it. And then I fucked it up.
Until Rob sold me his support for the throne card for 3 meaningless promissory notes, which was unfortunately the game's biggest blunder. In doing so, he put me in a position where I could now get the 5th Dreadnought on the board, score my secret objective and score the public objective for 3 unit technologies to get the 3 victory points I needed to get to 10. And having taken politics, I was speaker, so I was scoring first and thus won the game.
The man on the right there with all the ships and Facebook tech thought he had it sewn up, but he took his eye off the prize, and before you knew it, the sun energy ball fart bastards had stitched us all up through complacency alone. Leaves me with a salty taste in the mouth.
So that's a shame because had I managed to win, it would have been one of those really satisfying games where you just feel like you've done it rather than any luck or kind of, I mean obviously it's luck, but any shenanigans like that managed, but
And that's the problem with being a Nazi who's a bit woke. I think that's the problem. We can't have a woke Nazi. And that is the problem. My boys did good. We had a big fleet, but unfortunately no one to use on. We're just sitting around with ships and we weren't doing anything. And that was terrible. So yeah, it wasn't good.
For For the first 4 turns, I was either joint first or actually ahead, and then I catastrophically misplayed 1 turn, which cost me the lead, and then failed to recover from it, which cost me, you know, being even close to being competitive by the end game.
It was a bad game, but I learned a lot of mistakes, learned a lot of things about the game. Never trust people who kind of like, oh, I can't win this. And then they sneak in, win the game. Yeah, sneaky.
But yeah, I mean, it happened because Rob sold me a promissory note he shouldn't have sold me, and it doesn't feel great, right? I sat there in the game with Rob thinking he'd won, not saying anything, knowing that I could steal it off him, which feels pretty shady. There's no denying that. And then revealed it when it was far too late for anyone to do anything about it, and yeah.
And so I guess for future games, it's about like not leaning on those alliances too much. I made the alliance with Ken. Well, my alliance with Rob was solid. He took those planets off me, but he can justify that. Like, we actually had a pretty solid alliance throughout the game. But I lent on those alliances too much, thinking I could then just go off and do whatever I wanted.
I just think I'd like to say that everyone played really well there. That was the best game I've played yet, in that we were all really close the whole way through until the end, obviously.
The middle period of the game, that was the worst part. Made a lot of mistakes, errors. I think didn't realize how efficiently you have to do everything and really think about those strategy cards. Each turn matters so much that you just have to really nail the strategy card each time. I think I was in a position, I probably had, at the start of the game, I think a more experienced player would have won the game having made constant warring decisions.
Rob deserved to win. Rob played better than I did. I kept myself in it. I'm pretty pleased with how I played, to be honest. The Embers are a tough race. They start off very slowly, and I got bullied about the board a lot. Thankfully, no one else scored too quickly. I mean, that game, it took me 3 rounds to score a victory point. That game could have been away from me, beyond reach, if other people had been scoring regularly and quickly. Fortunately, the people who did lead the scoring early on kind of found themselves in difficult positions. That's John and Dave. The clan of Sar kind of got boxed up in their asteroid field, and John, got rather ruined by the barony of Letnev going through his flank.
But we had a good run, sure we did. We had the points there. A last-ditch run at the prize. And we were eligible for 10 of those points, but couldn't quite make it fit.
Still, lots of really good lessons learned, and I really enjoyed watching all of the interplay here. It was such a good mix of races. Everyone knew that Ken was going to do really well, despite it being his first game, because he's smart, but it was still really fun to watch that happen. It was really impressive.
I think if I warred way more, if I destroyed those war suns straight away, which is the main error, with assault cannon, and he only had 2 war suns, 1 destroyer, I would go in, easily wreck that. I would win that fight so easily. It would have been done. So yeah, that's the big problem.
That is the one moment I'm genuinely pleased with. The barony of Letnev were going to take Mechatol off me. It would have been an arse. I managed to push them off by giving them my support for the throne, which never became material to the scoring, and meant that they had a disincentive to attack me all game. There's a lot of chat floating around now, me having won off Rob with support for the throne for never give up your support for the throne, but I'll say hand on heart that, you know, the game won in large part because I gave away my support for the throne. Situational, could have hurt me, in this case vital, which is something nice about balance.
And the slow scoring at the start actually made it quite interesting because we were all really bunched up. Whereas often what you have is a couple of early leaders, so there's a bit of kind of a balancing mechanic inherent there in piling on the leader, but we didn't have that, and I found that really interesting.
I didn't build enough stuff. I never got a second space dock in an advanced position, so I was never able to develop my fleets very efficiently, and I didn't have things on the board. So that was my big blunder, and that meant I couldn't take advantage enough of the mobility because I didn't have things to move around.
I think back and forth between John and Ken, between Matt and Rob, between Matt and Ollie somehow was really cool as well. I had a great time. Congratulations to Matt, who won with the Embers of Muad, which is amazing.
But yeah, I mean, it was a really interesting game. It was much closer than any of the games we've played before. Fewer baller moves probably than we've previously seen, but there were some good fights in there. Embers as a race, too slow to start, makes it a tough game. Means that you're always going to pull underhand shenanigans to get back into the game when you start being a power. And I struggle because I never had that many resources, so I struggled to build up big fleets. But the War Songs go a long way to mitigating that.
Everyone was alright. I think some people felt like they had tough games, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. In this world, you are either born an Ubermensch or a lesser being, and that's just the cards you're dealt, and we have to adhere to that. I'm sorry. Anyway, I came joint last.
All in all, me best outing in this game. Something to take away.
I'm not excited to play as the Embers again, if I'm honest. I think I maybe could pilot them to a win again, but that's not the reason. They're just not fun, right? Like the Tsar are just brilliant. Go everywhere, annoy people, have fun. The Virus look really fun. The Ghosts look really fun, like move around, steal things, yeah. The Embers, they're just sort of stodgy and late gamey, and yeah.
Yeah, if every game of TI is this interesting all the way through from now on, which I don't think we quite managed before, then it's gonna be my favourite game ever.
So, I mean, the irony of the game is that having pulled the shenanigans to beat Rob, I've taken a game he would have been proud to win and make it a game that I'm a little bit ashamed to win and made him really, really angry with himself. But that is board gaming.
I really like the race drafting. I think the race drafting we did, some variation on that is a good idea to do next time as well, because we did end up with a fantastic selection.
Bad time for Nazis. 2019. They said Nazis were coming back. I'm not saying that. So yeah, fuck this world.
So it goes. Good game. That's life.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
But all in all, just GG.
So, sorry, Rob. I am the Emperor.
So yeah, that was just a really good game. Thanks everyone, good spirit. Very impressed by everyone's play, and I look forward to the next game. I've got to be favourite at this point.
I think Ollie will win. I think Ollie is sitting on a good position.
If it does work, and then at the end of the round I can score another public objective for 2, which is possible, the tech one, then I'm there.
For the first time ever, I might have a chance.
Chaos is a ladder.